And this testimony I'm giving you is not cooked up.
Okay.
I actually have a steward in the church who hooked me up with this man. So everything I've shared with you, he can testify.
This testimony is not cooked up. Nyaya ise kunyeba. Asi pana wambofamba wachiti ndiye kunyeba here. Pana wari kuidhauta here.
So
kana uchipinda Zaoga, kana kuti kana wakambopinda Zaoga, either a president or a former member of Zaoga, uri munhu akaipinda chaizvo chechi iyi, pane zvimwe zvinhu zvekuti nyange uri kuhope unoona kumotswa wobvunzwa wozvitaura from the back of your head, because these are things that you hear every anniversary, you hear by every conference, you hear anywhere else. And zvinhu zvikazozvinzwa zvichitaurwa nemwe munhu, you can actually say, handirambe kuti mastories anofanana, handirambe kuti maexperiences anofanana, asi uye ndinobvuma futi kuita cast aspersion, cast aspersion, something is suspicious here. I've got a video by Apostle T.F. Chiwenga, and I'm inviting all Zaoga members, whether former or present members. Now, tinyatsoteerera pamwe chete testimony rupiwa na Apostle T.F. Chiwenga, and then I'll show you something that I picked at the end.
Zico, the journalist.
The other time the Lord spoke to me, I was in a combi, an ordinary common public bus, public minibus. I was going to town to attend a meeting. There was a man, a businessman, who had offered to launch what he called a national crusade team. And he had also approached me to be part of it. So he had appointed me and another pastor. I mentioned his name so many times, I don't want to do it today. He said, you two work together. Come up with a powerful praise team from your churches. I'll buy you a public address system. I'll buy you vehicles. Go from town to town preaching. I love your message. He even came to my house 3 times. So we had done the first meeting, the second meeting. This was the 3rd meeting, if I am not mistaken. I didn't have a car on that particular day. My car was being repaired. So I used the public transport. When I sat in the combi, the driver took off. We were going to town from Glenora, where I stayed. The Lord said to me, have you found a new job? I said, new job? It's evangelical work. We will do crusades. And he said, you will be working for him because he's going to tell you where to preach. Is that how a servant works? That he takes instructions from any master? I was excited because we wanted money, we wanted resources, we wanted those speakers. The church had no speakers. When the Lord said those words, my heart sank. I immediately took out my phone and wrote a long message to this man. I said to him, I'm not coming to the meeting. If you want to give us speakers, you give us speakers to my ministry. It is the Lord who will then tell me where I should go and preach, not you. I'm not your servant. I'm a servant of the Lord. If you are not interested, keep your money. Find someone else. So I didn't go. That was the last time this man spoke to me. I was willing to go and receive a car and speakers, and uniform for our praise team and a small bus to carry our... It was going to be an amalgamation of 2 churches, a charlatan and a true apostle. He said, work together. I want you two to work together. He had chosen a partner for me, and I could not say no. In my thoughts, there was nothing wrong with getting resources to push the gospel agenda. But the Lord personally came to me and said, Have you found another job? Are you going to preach based on what another person will do or say to you, go to this place you go? Is that how a servant of a Lord does? Who do you take instructions from? I said, from you, of course. And that was the last thing he said. He never said, don't go. He simply asked 3 or 4 questions. And I was clear that he didn't want me to go. So I stopped. And this testimony I'm giving you is not cooked up.
Okay.
I actually have a steward in the church who hooked me up with this man. So everything I've shared with you, he can testify.
This testimony is not cooked up. Nyaya ise kunyeba. Asi pano wambofamba wachiti ndiye kunyeba ere. Pano wari kuidhauta ere. So ladies and gentlemen, this is Apostle T.F. Chiwenga giving his testimony, which is not cooked up. And I quote, this testimony is not cooked up. Munhu akauya ane mari. And I'm going to help you financially. I'm going to give you resources to enable you to push the gospel. That is Apostle T.F. Chiwenga. Why did I invite Zayoja people? Because Apostle T.F. Chiwenga is also a Zayoja member in former terms. Formerly, I've been to church with Zayoja. I'm going to Prophet Makandiwa. So he really understands how things happen in Zayoja. He really understands the history of Zayoja. Because in Zayoja, munoverengezwa norondo. In fact, mazuva ano preacher norondo chat. Jesu ajanombomuziva. Munoverengezwa norondo kuZayoja. Munoverenga norondo. Pa-anniversary, pa-musangano, pa-michi, munoverenga norondo. And there is one popular story in Zayoja about Baba Guti, which everyone in Zayoja angachitoteerera apa atobata kuti nyaya iyi ndeyei atozvibata. But for the benefit of those who are not from Zayoja, I'm just going to show you here. There is a book rakanzi Talents Matarenda by Apostle Ezekiel Guti. Rakanzi Go and Teach Them to Use Their Hands. And unovadzidzisa kushandisa maoko avo. And if you look at this story, iripo iyo pa page 17 ndizvo 17 to 18 pakanzi God or Money. I went to USA yet not knowing where I was going to find school. All I had ndibaba Guti ava vari kutaura. All I had was someone's relative address who was a non-Christian. When I arrived, I began to look for school and God showed me where to go. When I was at the school towards the end of the year, a certain man who had a lot of money, a big church, and many buses came to me and said, work under me so that I may help you in all your work and the building of churches in your country. I will also give you buses. The Baba Guta, in the formative years of Zayoja, vaenda ku America, murume ane mari about huya undishandire inini urianda inini chakupa mabhazi ndichakupa mari ndichakupa chii. Zvikanzi, as I wanted money for the work of God, I said God has seen me and now I have found the money. I told the man that I would give him my answer the following day. After praying, God spoke to me and said, if you work under this man, you may do so, but I will not be with you, and I will take away my anointing from you. And I said, I wanted the money to do your work, O Lord. Should I return empty-handed? What am I to give to the workers if you gave me something to work with? God said to me that night, if you humble yourself and obey me, I will be your money. Ndopanozoba nyaya matarenda iyaya. Pazonzi ena unovadzisa kushanda nemaoko avo vanhu avo ita chi matarenda. But the point is, kanyaya aka kakada kuti fananei nekanyaya kaApostle T.F. Chiwenga. I understand that God does not change. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. So there is a possibility that this is not a cooked up testimony. Asuti Mwari akatouya kuna Apostle T.F. Chiwenga akavati iwewe usaite so, usaite so, usaite so. And also history repeats itself. But inini semunhu akakurira muZayoja ndichinzwa the same story. and Apostle TF Chiwenga akapinda Zayoja asingaitwa achinzwa the same story. What are the chances that Apostle TF Chiwenga anogona kungautaura nyaya yaBaba Guti? Haya, ndikurotomoka.
Yes, Madi. Amba nedu iri kukura even macapacity installation atiri kuita atori very big. Ngoda bakwa kunaya tinombomhanya patishawasha apa. Tinoita a solar installation ye 8 kVA. This installation, what is so peculiar about it is kuti inosimudza nema aircon. Vanhu hope mamusingazivi kuti masolar anotoita kuti aircon itenderere mumba. But with 8 kVA unosimudza nema aircon. But kune mamwe futi ma6, ma4, ma3 anenge achienderana nebudget rako nekuti unogara kupi, whether uri kubudiriro kana uri kuchishawasha hills, we can cater for everything that you need. Saka tosangana kumberi ikoko.